Hey guys, welcome to the very first Tangent Talk podcast. I'm your host, Brian, and today we'll be talking about the game Impact Point. This game is a multiplayer top down shooter PvP game, 2 to 4 people. It's an action based game, it's 2D. Today we have with me Nael and Aiden, top global leaderboards, Nael, and Aiden, who's ranked 169th, currently changing on Impact Point. So let's start off with the first question. How are you guys doing today?
Uh, doing
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 good.
doing pretty well today.
That was quite the intro. I was not expecting that.
It's the
Very,
first podcast. We can go off and whatever.
you
Also, we
sound
can talk about the podcast while on the podcast. We can meta it. We can go meta.
All right.
all right.
So, when did you guys heard of the game?
I heard of the game from Nael.
Yeah, so I was browsing through Steam one day, just randomly through my Steam queue, and I ended up finding this, how you introduced the game. It reminded me a lot of this other game called Hotline Miami, and so I figured I was like, it goes up to 4 players, so we can, I have a group of friends that I was like, I'd want to play this game with, so I figured I added them all on Discord, and I was like, we should just play this game. So that's
All right.
kind of how it started.
So, when did you decide to start grinding it out?
Uh, it was kind of just like more of a solo thing. Like at the time, the game was fairly new, so I didn't expect myself to be as involved in the game as like as I am now. It's kind of fallen off. I haven't played the game as much due to developer updates, but it
Especially when school started, right?
yeah, that too. When school started, I was like, yeah, I have to lay off games for a while because I actually have to focus on stuff. But once school came around, I didn't grind the game as much. Uh, but it was just like a process. I saw that I was pretty high on the leaderboards from just playing with like people from pros. So I figured, why not? Why not just decide to go for number one? That would be a cool thing.
Did you have like a plan for grinding it out? Or did you was it just playing it off every now and then whenever you had the time to?
It's really just playing it off every now and then because there's no really strategy for grinding kills on this game. It's literally just you queue up and find people and then you just play. It's just playing the game. There's no like strategy you can really do.
Aiden,
I'll be
if you're
honest with you.
grinding,
I lost track of the question.
that's any plans on you grinding the game, or did you just play the game for fun?
Uh, no. I really just played it for fun, but then I saw Niall grinding and skipping school. During
What?
impact point.
What? That's not true. I haven't skipped a single day of school.
you
Well,
know,
actually, no.
he,
I've skipped school, but not to grind out impact point.
he didn't talk to his friends for months on it, and he went dead on every platform. I didn't hear from him for weeks, and then later we find out after weeks of waiting for a response that he's been on for nearly hundreds of hours. So yeah, I lost track with my tangent. Remind
That's
me where I was
that's
going with this.
literally not even true.
And
The game's only been out for like a month.
now,
I can't
now
be
the
missing.
exile eventually talks back to you. What do you do?
Sorry.
That was a question for you. Answer the answer the question.
Okay, repeat, because my attention is quite split right now.
After hours away of playing grinding out impact point, what was your reaction when Now first spoke to you again?
I was surprised that he was playing this horrid game for that long. This game is not fun. I'm just gonna say that. People are not good, so they have to use certain items, and that makes the game just a pain to play. And I'll even tell you about it. It's a certain thing that Niall's using at the moment right now. Sniper and armor combo, and allow me to tell you about the sniper really quick. The sniper is a one-shot item, and it takes zero skill to use. And if you add that with the hit lag on this, it gets even worse.
That's like not
Um,
even true.
what
The sniper's been nerfed down to the ground. The gun's like actually genuinely not even good anymore.
Okay, but at the beginning, you have to admit it was
Oh
horrible.
yeah, well at the beginning, yeah, definitely
Yeah.
pre-patch. It
Talking
was
about hours,
peaking
by
out.
the way, how many hours do you guys have on the game?
Let me see. I have 85 hours on the game.
I have rookie numbers. I have 13.3 hours.
So, question for Nael, how does it feel to be on top of the global leaderboards for grinding it out that long?
Not good at all.
Did you
Like
feel
you'd be surprised. Like honestly, after grinding it out for number one now, my advice would literally be never grind it out number one for a game. It's miserable.
do you feel like you achieved something?
No, not really.
Did you gain anything from it?
No.
Not at all.
I
Did
mean,
they
I
didn't
actually
contact you?
actually
Didn't get
yeah,
fame?
the one thing I did gain is I got to meet a lot of cool people. That was like when the game, because the game's been kind of dying off of player base due to, developer. Dude has like real things to do like in the world.
Yeah.
So he's been kind of MIA recently for like 2 weeks. The player base has kind of taken a toll. But back when the game was really popular and it was a very active community, I got to meet people from like South America, like Korea, like people from like Germany. It was really nice. And then even as you mentioned, the creator eventually contacted me and he was like, "You've been you've been playing my game a lot." And I'm like, "Yeah."
You've been playing my game a lot, that's it?
Yeah, he contacted me. He was like, I'd love to have you like play test the game and stuff. It's like, I've been very active on it.
Nice,
But
nice,
yeah,
nice.
that's kind of the main thing I gained. I didn't really gain anything. Other than that, it was kind of just like me. Eventually, if you play a game for so much, you're eventually not gonna enjoy it. You're kind of just torturing yourself to play the game
Yeah,
at that point.
after yeah, it is a microcosm for games are games that set out to perform one specific type of task and do it to the best of their ability. Example of this include games such as Agario, Dep.io, Minesweepers, and many other games. Also, meeting these new people, did you just get them on game chat or was it like a Discord server they had?
No, I actually got to talk to some of them like in person. Like, well, not in person, but like through like voice chat. It was, get to know them a little bit more than just in-game like text, just chatting. So I actually did get to, meet people of different ages, of different ethnicities, different cultures. It's pretty cool.
Aiden, have you met other people on it or uh mentioned to any staff or anything?
Uh, Not really. I'm be honest, haven't grinded as much as Niall, and sort of the thing that Niall did when he got number one on the leaderboard, it sort of gave him recognition, so people sort of approached him. But since I'm obviously not in that position, I'm not obviously getting called out because you're just a normal player like the rest. So I didn't really meet anyone. I mean, I just met the people who Niall eventually talked to.
All right, great. Just overall, wrapping this up, how do you guys give a rating for the game?
Uh,
Zero.
Okay.
in what context do you want a rating? Because
What
if you
context?
if you
Let's see.
say like it really depends on what context you give me.
I guess out of 5. Do it for that for game ratings.
Uh, Initial release, like at launch, I
All
think
right.
game was really fun. I'd probably give it like a solid 3.5. But eventually, like now, since all the issues are starting to show, like, it's a solo dev project, so that already has a lot of issues in itself. Um, and lack of updates, like player base slowly dying out. I'd probably have to now give it like a solid like 1.5 out of 5.
All right, Aiden. Is it still 0
Uh,
or?
yep, still zero. Never liked the game. Never will. Um, I don't like how people play. Some
Are
people are
you?
very.
Do you say that because you're playing
Oh,
against
shit.
me right now?
No, 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 no. I'm talking about the people who camp in the corner with a sniper or a knife till end of the game and just let everybody else fight each other.
Understandable.
All right. Let's just end this up, and if you guys have anything else you want to mention or anything else I didn't cover with my questions.
Um,
Never play Impact Point.
I'd probably say I wish this game had more updates, and I would absolutely love to play it more.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This has been Tangent Talk Podcast. And I'll see you guys later for the next podcast. Peace.
I hate Impact Point!
I hate it.